Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts with a little boxing and offline product gaming review. This is Gear Club Unlimited 2, the Ultimate Edition for the PlayStation 4, but this is being played and tested on my PlayStation 5. To jump right into it, this Ultimate Edition says it's just a vanilla version, it says 1.00, but I doubt this is the case, as this does come with all current release DLC right on the disc. This includes all 6 DLC, which includes like the Endurance challenges, as well as the Porsche challenge, as well as a few extra little things like extra cars and tracks and so forth. All current release DLC that I know of is on the disc, so that's extremely nice. But though, sadly, as I said, has all the DLC and it says the version is 1.00, there was a pretty significant size update available. This update size was 10 gigabytes big and will take you to version 1.02 since the time I'm making this video. Now, all it says is just stability and bug fixes within the game. I did check it out to make sure to see if anything was changed or altered. Nothing I could notice in terms of like menus and stuff like that or options added to the experience. So it's just, I take it for just what it says, bug fixes and stability issues. Now, like I always do, I played my entire time played this game. I played it completely offline, and I cannot claim my experience was flawless. Though the game worked nearly all the way to the end of the game. I completed all the series. I completed A class, D class, C class, B class. I completed all the classes in the challenging of the campaign. And I generally had a really good time with what was here, though, as I said, it wasn't perfect. Sadly, during my time of recording this, I went ahead and did one of the endurance races in the game, and the game crashed on me, and well, sadly, it corrupted my save. So I lost all my progress in an instant, and it was quite frustrating and deflating to have that happen to me. Now, I did look online to see about more information about this, and it seems to be happened randomly. Other people have recorded that they've had the game crash around them when they're around the B-class stages of their cars, and it crashes, and then it's corrupted their save. And I don't really know too much about the PS5 version of this, whether it has that same problem. It's really difficult to get information about offline experiences, because like I said, not a lot of people properly test offline products like In-Game Arts, and a few other people do as well. So it's really hard to get that information. So for right now, I could say that picking up Gear Club Unlimited 2, the Ultimate Edition, has this massive flaw, and I really want to get that out of the way. So if you're really looking into it and you're waiting to see about my opinion, right now as a product, it's a good avoid. Since simply as, if you try to play the campaign, you could lose all of your progress immediately. Now, let's just say I was unlucky. Let's just say that this is not as common. Well, what else could problems be with Gear Club Unlimited 2 Ultimate Edition? Well, other than seeing the game kind of choppy sometimes, frame little issues had problems, as well as sometimes the cars acted a little funny and their steering, and just certain other small hiccups here and there. But the overall gameplay and content that is here is enjoyable. You have a good array of cars, I think well over 90 cars, they all varying in classes from the rankings, and then you got supercars, standard cars, race cars, so on, as well as you can buy and upgrade these cars, which is something I've always loved to do because it's a lot like progression. You're upgrading your vehicles. I really find that a lot of fun to do in racing games. As well as that you can do decals on the car, you can change some of the paint jobs in some cars, you can change the rims and add stickers to the car to give it some details and stuff like that. I've always enjoyed seeing that stuff in racing games, even though I don't really personally use it a lot. I always like to see the base model and like my cars look clean. I always appreciated seeing that in there. As well as that some cars you can add stuff like change the bumper, side rails, rims, and add spoilers, and so on and so forth. So it's got a lot of content in that area, and with a good amount of races and challenges, you have a great amount of content in this Ultimate Edition. I spent a good amount of time just playing it, and as I said, my corrupted save, but for what I did play, I did enjoy it. Even though there's only really like 3 kinds of races. You had like a time trial, which is like a sprint, run to one end to other end and make sure you can beat everyone's time. You had your normal standard races where you do a couple laps, as well as you got an elimination where overtime every 20 seconds a person gets eliminated who's ever in last place. As well as you had like a dirt rally, which is the same thing. It could be a sprint or a lap or something like that. Not a lot of variety. Now, of course, you had the extra DLC modes, which is the Porsche mode or the Endurance mode, where Endurance mode is like a more traditional racing formula where you have an actual circuit instead of like a open field environment. You're actually on a circuit. You can change your tires, refill your gas tank. And Porsche mode is just a mode where you play against like other people's Porsche cars. It's basically a sponsored moment area where you just drive Porsche cars if that's what you're really into doing. And other than that, the game is fundamentally a decent experience. It's not going to blow you away and think this is going to be the greatest racing game ever, but then for what it was, I was enjoying it until my save got corrupted. The other really issues you're going to probably spot immediately is that I said about the cars not working really weird. There are certain cars I was driving that all of a sudden were completely polar opposite to what they were claiming that their statistics were. Not in terms of like speed, but like they were saying like overturning and underturning. I had some cars that were just like live its entire life to drift. I bought a Dodge Viper, and all of a sudden, every single turn, my car just wanted to drift, no matter how lightly I touched that joystick. Other cars, like I bought a McLaren. I think I'm getting the name wrong. I'm not a car person, but it's a very high performance car, and this thing could not turn. It was basically thought it was a boat. Like I had basically had to come to a complete stop to try to turn. It was really weird. As well as some other cars where I don't know if this was a game design, but sometimes when you're just like trying to turn around a corner, the tire would like act like it's locked up, and the whole car would just completely kick up to the side and slide, almost trying to do a 180 on my car. It was really weird, and it happened very randomly. And there's other little things, like when you're driving on the road, you're like the car's bumping around even though there was nothing on the road. The camera chatters a little bit here and there, which is going to be disorienting at the beginning, but over time I kind of got used to it. A lot of pop in on the track where like the trees will pop in. They're still loading in the graphics as you're racing. I did have one time the shadows in the mountains started bugging out like it was its own asset, and it was like flipping out. I could see like the whole world was like have a shadow casting around and breaking apart, and it was really weird. It only happened once, but other than that, if I can ignore all that, and the only thing that was a saving grace, because compared to like all those bugs I was talking about, the cars driving really weird, the game has a rewind time. You can rewind the time and retry the mistake you made. So when the car is bugged out, let's say drifted, or I didn't realize I'm turning a boat, or the car kind of tire locked up and kicked the car in a 180 direction, I could just rewind time and retry again. You had unlimited uses of that. So it was its saving grace that I kept trying to rewind time, go again, rewind time, go again. Even though with all that going on, I still enjoyed myself. Maybe I'm currently starved for a racing game, considering Gran Turismo is now a dead series to me since it's a live service, always internet connection. So I was really hoping Gear Club 2 would have really take the cake for me as a racing game, but sadly with that corrupted save bug, and other people have reported it wasn't just a one-time fluke. Other people have been reporting about it, and who knows, maybe that bug still exists even with the updates. It kind of just kills this game. Now the only other side I can give a benefit to the game is that while you probably don't want to do career mode because you don't want to lose all that progress from a corrupted save, what you could do is buy this game and enjoy multiplayer. The game does support 4-player split screen. Sadly, I wasn't able to play 4-player split screen, but I was able to play 2 players, and me and my brother were enjoying for what it was. It was a nice little challenge. I mean, who knows, I don't know how the 4-player split screen works, but we were having fun with how simple it was and straightforward the multiplayer was. You just pick a couple races, you have pretty good list of cars, good amount of variety of all the cars available, and then you just pick and you change the colors. It was really nice. So even though the campaign is now dead because you can't risk corrupted save data, I think you could still pick it up if you could find a used copy or something like that to play multiplayer split screen with your kids or your friend or roommate or something like that. At least gives you something in that area, and I think you could both really enjoy your time with it, especially if you could get 4 players going on. And I just think that at least with the lack of split-screen gaming right now, and there's only so many racing games and shooters and stuff like that are banning it, I try to find any one of these kinds of games and find it and try to support it as much as I can and bring awareness to it. So, as much as I really like this game for how simple it was, because I still had fun until the corrupted save data stuff went on, and even with all the bugs, I thought that there was potential here. So hopefully maybe the sequel, Gear Club 3, hopefully this issue could be resolved. Or maybe the PS5 version of this game doesn't have this issue, or the Nintendo Switch version could be working just fine. Now, how the performance of that, or what the issues of all that, I do not know. This is strictly from the PS4 version. And I don't think this has anything to do with the PS4 version being played on the PS5 in terms of the corrupted save data. I believe that's just a bug inside the actual game itself and not the hardware issue side of it. So, as disappointing that is, I'd still say it's worth a look for the multiplayer. I think you could still have some fun with that if that's something you're into. But if you're someone who doesn't play any kind of multiplayer and that's not something you're interested in, but you still like racing games, sadly, this is not going to be something I can advise you to invest like I did almost 2 days straight on my weekend trying to complete this for this video and then have my save get corrupted. It was very upsetting, and I finally got my Bugatti in the game, and near the end I only got to race that car one time before the save got corrupted. That was a really frustrating moment in my life right there. But again, there's potential here, and that's why I want to point out that who may be the Switch version, since that's the original first release of this game, so that would probably have all the updates and all this other stuff already on the cartridge, so maybe that would probably be the best version to get. But right now, PS4 version, from my offline experience, it's a void unless you want to enjoy multiplayer. So like always, thank you all so much for watching. It is disappointing, but like I said, it's worth a look for the multiplayer side of it. And who knows, like I said, if you're someone who downloads the updates, that 10 gigabyte update could fix the corrupted save data bug. But as an offline tester, an offline product, this is a bad product, so it's disappointing. So again, thank you again so much everyone for watching my content, and hopefully I can get more PS4 games down the road. If you've already noticed, the thumbnail has a little icon at the bottom left that will let you know that that PS4 game was played on my PlayStation 5. So again, thank you all so much for watching this unboxing video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.